GM. Yo. What up?
GM.
Bringing that energy today on a Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Thank you for showing up and showing out early.
Happy Hump Day, baby. It's Wednesday. Let's go. Middle of the week.
Shout out to the boys and girls in the chat. Thank you for stopping by. Hopefully, we make it worth it for you today.
Yeah, we will see what we can do. There's not a lot of I was looking at things today. There's not a lot of NFT news, like not a lot of stuff going on the NFTs, but I feel like the crypto news right now, it's crazy. Like there's so much to talk about. So we're gonna try to talk some NFTs today, but today we're also gonna be talking some more broader kind of crypto news, things that may affect us in the NFT market as well. But Jeremy, how was your Tuesday? How was your Wednesday? How was your early morning? Because I know you were up early with the rest of us.
I mean, I'm not gonna say what I was doing over there, on the side.
One of my phones is ringing. 1 sec.
Not gonna say what I was doing over there, but okay. We signed up for the 8Fest tickets bright and early in the morning. We stayed up incredibly late, like stupid late. First of all, stayed up till like 2:33 in the morning. Had to wake up at 7, get ready for the ticket situation. Got that handled. Bop. I did mess up though. Just quick thing. Like the first 2 wallets that I registered, I only signed up for 3 days instead of 4. Because for some reason in my mind, I was like, we can only sign up for 3. But it was that I was only thinking of 3. Like there's 3 days that I wanted to go to.
You were thinking of basically the non-Moonbird party day, right?
Yeah. So I was the first 2 I sent through with 3 days instead of selecting 4. The last one I realized my mistake. Selected 4. Anyways, got that handled. Got some work handled. Signed up for a bunch of pre-mint stuff. Let's see. Got a lot of other tickets done. And then I did that outside. I touched some grass this morning, and I actually cut some grass this morning too. So yeah, just took care of some things. And what about you?
Before we move on, let's give a shout out to Hillbilly, gifting 5 subs to our community. Definitely appreciate that, Hillbilly, one of our OG listeners. He's still living large off that Moonbird sale. That man's living like a king still.
Yo, this man subbed for 3 minutes in a row, and then he gifted 5. Okay, dude.
Okay.
Yo, coming in with that.
Yo, tell me you're a whale.
This man sells 1 Moonbird and goes crazy, goes stupid.
No, but still, I mean, we've said before, but still huge props to Hillbilly because he sold that Moonbird at basically the absolute Moonbird peak. Right before they dipped back down, he sold it at the peak of the peak. So that is a huge sale. GG's. Still living large off of it. But yeah, my Tuesday, it was good. Just pretty easy. Wednesday, like you said, we had a pretty big storm come in last night, so I woke up around midnight. Couldn't go back to sleep. Came back to my computer, saw some of the boys on Discord. So I hopped on and, like you said, stayed up a little bit too late. But hey, we were up this morning, hopefully secured some tickets. Yeah, I did the rankings. I at least got one. Each night was number 1 in one of mine. So yeah, hopefully it works out, and I get a ticket and +1s for all of the days, and maybe more. We can maybe hand out to more, because I know there's gonna be a lot of people there going that are in our group that are gonna need some tickets to be thrown around. So yeah, looking forward to it. What is your what do you think is gonna be the biggest day out of the 4? We got Monday through Thursday.
I mean, I think you just have to lean towards the last day. It's always kind of, as the cliche goes, save the best for last. Kind of ending things with a bang. But at the same time, I'd probably say last day, and then the first day. I'm not sleeping on the first day. I think the first day could be a banger. Yeah. And then it's kind of a tie between the other 2. It's just gonna depend on the entertainer. But I'd say last day, first day, and then the other 2.
Yeah, I think it definitely does depend on the performer, and I would probably agree. I think pretty much the popular opinion is the last day is going to be the craziest one or the best one, and I think that was probably probably the more popular option to select as people's number 1 option for securing tickets. But let's go ahead and move on to the market update. Let's pull up Flipstop Finance. Let me give it a quick refresh so we're all up to date. And let's see what's been going on in the last 24/7 in the NFT market space. Let's look at the top gainers. And just looking at this list, is there anything that sticks out massively to you?
Massively?
Massively.
Well, I mean, other than Hillbilly's wallet. Let's see what else we got on there. All right. So we got Adbit 1, which is again the G-Funk project, which was
Yep.
for a select few of his PO-apps. That's a 15.4 ETH4. Doing pretty well. I mean, it's been over like 2 weeks now, so shout out those guys. Diamond Handers, shout out the Diamond Handers. We do have, let's see, I don't see them on here, but they just minted. They're in the process of minting out. Those are the Dobies, and that was like an allow list and plus a pre-mint raffle. Those were a free mint. I think the last time I saw them, those were 0.15 ETH currently. I don't know if they sold out or not. They were at about 3,000 minted, and there's 7,200 of them or something like that. But on this list, not a whole lot that stick out really to me.
Like I see, I mean, I see the Smiles versus up there. They're up a little bit, but again, like these projects are up, but like still way down from their peaks. So Smiles is up to their quote up to 0.49. Lazy Lions, the loudest community on Twitter. They got a nice little bump. And then Accutars, they're back up, up 14% again, up to 0.9. They're still flirting with that 1 ETH. They're still flirting with that 1 ETH floor. I haven't crossed it recently, but hey, maybe they'll get there.
Alien Friends must have announced something. They're up at 0.68. That has always been like super hard DGen crowd. They're kind of a vibe, to be honest, the project and the people in it. They don't really hate on other projects. They're just kind of vibing in their own project.
They kind of benefited from that early Gary V pump, if I remember correctly. The Alien Friends. And
then the one that feels bad, and I know this is the green side, but they're not looking too green, is Cool Pets. Cool Pets are down so bad, bro.
0.3. Remember these were selling for like 2.5, 3 ETH.
Ooh, absolutely.
Tough. That is tough.
Down bad. But bad. Tax write-off.
Shout out, go
tax harvesting.
Get those tax harvesting. You're already working on them. Let's look at the opposite. Let's look at the floor changes for the flip side, the biggest losers, and let's just go ahead and ignore that number 1 slot and let's look at 2 through 20. just ignore. I want you to leave just for the sake of us all, German. Just leave us alone, and let's ignore that top one.
Okay, let's do that. I mean, we got some pretty high reds today. I mean, down over a lot, over 10 over. There's 10 projects that are down by 17% or more, which is pretty nuts. We got the Artifact Pod X. Why the FUD? Who started some Clone X FUD? Sheesh. And then
you FUD our bags, we gotta FUD your bags. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. But we got the Wolf. So Wolf Game is down. I think they had an announcement today that actually it sounds like it backfired on them, because Wool also completely dumped, so their coin and their NFTs dumped. So they're having kind of a little bad time right now. We got Bokies coming back down to earth. They're down to 0.63. These were like the hot project last week, where they were over an ETH. They were 1.5. Like they were pumping. They're going crazy. Everyone's talking about them, and now they're they're back down to earth, down to 0.6.
Speaking of Wool, I mean, like the Wolf Game, just to follow up on Wool here. Schiller tweeted out earlier it was a 50% drop in the 24-hour time frame. So that's down to 0.027 cents. Down 50% based off of one announcement. Crazy.
Crazy. Well, that is everything that sticks out to me. Anything else before we move on?
I mean, I wonder why house phases are down a little bit. I haven't kept up with them too much. I have seen their latest announcement on the Murrays, but I don't know why the house phases would be down so much. So I gotta look into that. But that is a project that I like, so I'm gonna go take a look at that after this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't have any other notes here, but let's go ahead and move on to
Pitch says wow at 3.5.
Yeah, right here at the very bottom. They're down 12%, down to 3.5.
Is it over?
It's crazy. You could basically
8 or 9 ETH.
I mean, it's basically 2 wows for 1 goblin now. Ooh. That's the type of market we're in. All right, so let's move on. We've got so the news this morning. We already kind of talked about it, hinted at it, or no, we didn't hint at it. We talked about it. So the tickets were released, or you were able to request them for Ape Fest. Happened this morning. A bunch of us were in Discord and went ahead and sent them. And yeah, we kind of already talked about our process for what we did. I did see. I don't know if whoever's on Twitter, you probably also already saw this as well. But Franklin's pretty popular for his. He really dives into the bit of his like Franklin flips. You know, he buys something, flips it for a 0.05 profit, and tweets about it. Well, I don't know what he was doing. He wanted to make sure he got all 4 days. This man set up 24 token proofs and claimed and requested tickets for 24 apes. So he's potentially going to get, 24, at least 24 day passes, even more if you get more than 1 day, plus all plus ones for every single one as well. So I'm fully expecting him to turn around and sell his extras instead of giving them back. But hey, that's gonna be a story to watch right there.
I mean, you're speaking of a guy who just flips for 0.02, 0.03 pre-tax. I mean, you definitely got to think that he's selling his extra tickets, right? Or he's going to do something to kind of like promote himself, pump his Twitter, pump anything that he can. That guy's just a grinder, and to be honest, I mean, I'm not going to judge him for it, but at the same time, I mean, that's a tough look, and I'm just impressed that he can handle it. To be honest, like 24 accounts, 24 wallets, and he didn't mess up. So yeah.
I mean. Honestly, at that point, if you have that many apes, you probably should be kind of at a certain point, it's like, okay, you probably should be, guaranteed a ticket for every single day instead of having to go through the raffle process. But hey, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. And you gotta respect the grind. But there's gonna be a lot of, I can already imagine the FUD and the upset people that if people miss out on tickets for days they wanted, and Franklin's sitting there with like 80 tickets, right? It's definitely gonna be interesting to watch the fallout from that.
So are you pro Franklin? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm neutral, Franklin.
Okay, dude. Yo, Maddie Divine, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, my boy.
Appreciate that, Maddie. All right. Well, speaking of Ape Fest, there was a couple of memes, a couple of videos and stuff. I just wanted us to watch because I've been dying at these. I think they're the funniest things because the whole meme with NFT space, right? With NFT people is, hey, everyone's, socially, like. Basically, they're just not socially capable. They're, no, everyone's a complete virgin. No one talks to girls. Like all of those stereotypes, and people are really leaning into it this year with Ape Fest. I got 2 videos I just wanted to show and go through, and so we got this one right here. This one says 99% of NFT bros in New York, and it's if we can just imagine, there he is right there, Bored Ape holder.
That's him.
Yep, there he is. This is the number 5 Bored Ape holder in the ecosystem. Look at so he's just straight vibing. Look at
so awkward, bro.
He didn't even tap his shoulder, man.
That's like my first college party,
bro.
Like when I'm 18 years old.
I fully expect to see some of those types of people at Ape Fest. As much as it is a meme, there is some truth behind it. So that was one. But this one takes the cake. This one says Bay C holders meeting their +1 at NFT NYC. Did you have you already watched this one?
Yeah, it's hard to watch.
It's so cringy. So you just imagine, you've secured this +1 to this event. You're probably just meeting them for the first time, and here you go. I'm totally already seen it. I don't think I have the volume on, but there's not really any volume that speaks to it. But yep, there we go. He's meeting the +1.
He says hi.
Hi. He just stares. He just does like a little giggle, like a.
Is it bad for me? Like this is what I picture Gumbo like. Like this is Gumbo.
And then he walks away. Where's he going?
Can I kiss you?
Yeah, can I kiss you? And then just oh my god. So I'm all here for these these memes because I think it's hilarious. I don't get offended by it. I don't think any of us really do because I think it's just funny. It's a good bit, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to more of these coming out because people are getting more creative, and we need more of these. We need more. It's
a stereotype, but at the same reason, like stereotypes kind of exist for a reason, and that probably does describe like a large amount. I can't say majority, but like a large amount of like NFT degens or Bored Ape holders. To be honest, like we kind of found ourselves here for a reason. Like if we were doing normal things and had like normal social lives and whatnot, a lot of us probably wouldn't be here. But yeah, I mean, no judgment, no judgment. Everybody is entitled to their own
like you said,
way of life.
Yeah, like you said, there's a stereotype, but there's also, there's a reason why there is that stereotype. But
For sure.
all right, so now we can move on to the actual news. It's time to get serious here at NFA. And I mentioned it earlier. There's a lot of crypto news to get into, so let's get into the first bit of that. And so a few days ago, or a couple days ago, on the 6th, after we streamed on Monday, this thread came out. This brand new Twitter account, anonymous Twitter account, just says "Dear Crypto," and we're not going to go through the whole thread because it's like, I think it's like 55. It's a 55-part thread or something like that. So this huge thread came out, went viral, took off. Basically, it's somebody claiming that they had access to these private telegrams that these crypto influencers were all in, and he was able to keep track of pump and dumps, able to keep track of all of the bad things happening behind the scenes, illegal activities. This person's even saying that there's been assassinations and not one murder but multiple murders to get people's crypto assets, like kind of like crazy, like deep stuff. Like I can put the thread. I'm pretty sure everyone's already seen it by now, but let me put it in the chat just in case. You can scroll through that later. But yeah, I just wanted to get your opinions. Like, this came through, got pretty popular, got some kind of caught the snowball went down the hill, caught some steam. People were talking about it. What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's kind of wild to think that we're even considering that this could be true, right? Because it wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility, right? Like this is something that could actually happen. And I've yet to decide if I really believe it yet. I haven't followed up with if he's provided like any proof, did any interviews with people or whatnot. Right. But just the fact that it could be true. If you guys didn't read the thread, it's essentially there was a Telegram bug or hack, a bug that existed that never really got fixed. Maybe it was reported. I can't remember that part. But this guy took advantage of that Telegram bug, which is just an app on your phone, messaging app on your phone. Some communities actually use it over Discord. Anyways, he essentially like spied on crypto whales and influencers and major project founders, and any message that they would send, it essentially goes to his server that he has set up. So it's like a backup. So it immediately goes there. And he just said he got pleasure from spying on these people and figuring out kind of like their darkest secrets and the scams that they were doing and watching them get rich.
He not only got pleasure from that, but he also partook in some of the scams because he knew the knowledge that was going to come down. So he even said in the thread, he's like, I got rich with these people, right? Mm-hmm. He's like he took advantage of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like insider
or he or
trading.
she, whoever it is.
Yeah, it was pretty much like insider trading because he had all the alpha of these scams and whatnot. So. And then he even joined like an alpha group and shared some tidbits from that, the information that he knew. And then, along with his group, they just made a ton of money. But for some reason, right now, like he's ready to come clean about it. In a way, I don't know if he's actually I don't know if he's doxing himself. He's not going to give money back or anything like that. He's just letting people know of this exploit. But yeah, the stuff that he talks about in here, in terms of the dark things, is crazy, insane.
Man. Yeah, he does give a time frame, or he or she. Again, we have no idea, but so June 15th, I guess, is when the first drop is going to happen. So that's a week from today. So next Wednesday is the first time they're going to publish some excerpts from it, and then June 30th there's going to be more. They basically reached out to like reporters in the industry, trying to get them to get access to it as well at the same time, so they can report on it. But they're doing it in a weird way where you have to access a file. So part of me thinks that I think there's three possibilities here. I think the first possibility is it's true, right? This completely happened, and what's about to be revealed actually happened, right? That's the first possibility. Second possibility, I think, it's just someone completely, is playing make-believe fairy tale. They're just trying to, farm for engagement, get attention. Yeah, people do. People like getting this engagement and this attention and just try to bring other people down, and there could be nothing behind it. That's one possibility as well. I think the third possibility is they're sharing all this through a file. I mean, I could see a possibility that it's just a huge phishing attempt, right? You're gaining this huge like engagement and following for people, this build up for this event, and you're going to release it as a file, and maybe it's some kind of, you know, some kind of malware, some kind of bad file that can like access your crypto or your wallets or transfer assets out. I think that's a possibility as well. So, what out of those three, what do you think is the most likely? What's the least likely? And what's been your kind of first opinions based off this? I'm just reading through it.
I would hate to believe this like truly. Like I know, okay, maybe there is a bug, maybe it did spawn people, but in terms of the accusations and whatnot, I hope that those are just a bit exaggerated and they did not happen. That'd be pretty sad. Just a huge amount of disappointment, like in the broader community, and it's not what we need at the time. We're already kind of in a bearish market, and would this just kind of pass like probably nothing happened? Maybe like a lot of personalities could go down if this was found out to be true, but I think crypto and NFTs just kind of keep chugging along, although slowly. I would think that this is somebody just trying to like pump their numbers, eventually like build up their profile, do some type of promotion or scam, and so that's what I'm choosing to believe. But
yeah, I mean, this person got, you know, a brand new account, now they have over 40,000 Twitter followers. So, you know, how long until they're verified and it says Bored Ape Founder on their bio, and now they're in your DMs.
I mean,
hey, you know, we could see it happen, but
DMs are open.
I could see all options. I'd almost put it as like even 33% split between all three of those options, right? Like I would believe either one. Like I probably would lean more towards like it's not as crazy or like as they're making it out to be. Like maybe there's some truth there, but either way, I'm gonna get my popcorn. I'm gonna be watching from the sidelines, and I do think this affects crypto Twitter more than NFT Twitter. From the sounds of it, it seems like it's more targeted or more about the actual, you know, crypto space rather than just NFTs. I'm sure there's going to be some crossover between influencers or people in each one, but it sounds like it's mainly targeting like the actual crypto influencers and not maybe the NFT ones.
Yeah, especially given the timeline of things, like when they happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we'll be talking about this again probably next Friday or next Wednesday. If it comes out before a stream on Wednesday, we'll be able to kind of break down whatever's released and see if there's any, you know, accuracy to it. And they do mention that it's ranging, like the influencers, the people that are being exposed range from 500 followers all the way up to 1 million followers. So people that everybody knows.
Gokina, could be Gokina in there.
could be Schiller.
Schiller.
It's also gonna be curious to see, like, I wonder if people are already tracking like which accounts, which influencers are starting to go radio silent from this, or starting to get more defensive, or, you know, because if I'm sure if you're involved in this and you read this and you know, like, oh crap, I'm about to be exposed, and you're either going to be silent and just disappear, or you're going to start like trying to, you know, already play defense. So I wonder if people are starting to track that, and if there's anything about that coming out.
I mean, there's a lot of big NFT guys who had their start in crypto, right? Like a lot of the people that you think could be involved are probably like OG punk collectors, right? Because a lot of OG punk collectors, not all of them, but a lot of them got their money from being crypto whales, right? And then they found their ways into NFTs via punks. So I don't know, maybe you see some punk guys be on that list if it is true. And not trying to get sued for defamation or anything, but
you heard it here first. If you own a punk before the year 2021, you are on this list. Guaranteed. Pitch Dark, you're actually right. Next Friday I'll be driving down to Texas, so we'll probably not be streaming on Friday, but we may do like a Twitter space or something while I'm on the road.
Hot tub stream next Friday.
Hot tub stream. There we go.
Let's go.
Once I get into, actually, I'll be getting into Dallas next Friday, so we could do an IRL stream.
IRL hot tub stream.
IRL hot tub stream. I'm coming to Yo Jeremy's casa. All right, let's move on to some other news we've got. So we've got some big brands entering Web3. As usual, we like to kind of shout them out and, you know, talk about them a little bit, get our thoughts. So the first one is Samsung. Samsung's launched their Discord. basically intending on entering like NFTs in Web3. I haven't seen this. Have you? Is there a more official like link or website that I can go that I can pull up, or is there or do you know more about what Samsung's intentions are?
I have not seen like a press release article,
Right.
but yeah, just access the Discord, and then also I've did the thing to claim the roles, which they're using WAP. It's called WHOP, like WAP.com, to enter to claim your roles in the Discord, but it's super laggy. So I mean, you could do it yesterday and you still don't have your roles.
Right.
But yeah, I've joined the Discord. I'm trying to find out more, but there's not a whole lot.
Yeah, so if you're in the chat, if you're a big Samsung person, hey, go look up Samsung. Maybe you can try to get in their Discord. I think those people exist. I don't know who they are, but they're out there. Yeah.
I mean, they've just said like, get ready to talk all things Web3, metaverse, gaming. So they're just using these big words, right?
Yeah,
and
all the buzzwords.
They hashtag them, bro. They hashtag them. So that's how you know this is an intern. Who's not really plugged in, but whatever.
Yeah. So the next one we've got Lacoste, the clothing brand, a little alligator that you like to see every now and then. They're entering Web3 and NFTs. They actually have a live pre-mint because they've already announced. If you go to it, they have their NFT. It's the mint date's going to be June 15th. Mint price 0.08, 13,000 winning spots. But I think it's kind of interesting because it says like the verbiage. You can tell someone. You can tell whenever they're new to NFTs, right?
Yeah.
Because it's something you would never advise someone to say. Like you would never advise a big project to say 13,000 is the number of people that could have the chance to access the experience. And then it says you won the raffle ? You still need to be fast to mint your NFT. Like that's just like that's wording that's just begging for people to get scammed, right?
Still need to be fast.
You still need. Hey, I know you won the raffle. You still gotta be fast to get your NFT. Like that just sounds like okay, like
cash grab.
Like you probably didn't get the best advice or the best counsel for launching this NFT, but either way, Lacoste is entering. Let me go ahead and put this pre-mint link in the chat for people if they're interested.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, we've seen big brands. Honestly, I would say probably 6 out of 10 times, like very short term, the big brands actually do well, like in terms of secondary market activity. But it's kind of just a toss-up whether or not they make it long term.
Yep.
So yeah, it's either it does really well right after, does really poorly, and people FUD it to the ground.
Yeah. So this is something that I probably would like. I'm probably gonna register for the pre-mint, and if I win if I win a slot to mint, I'm definitely gonna mint it. But it's something I'm gonna be selling almost immediately, right? Like I'm looking for like that 2 to 5x like pretty quickly, and it's nothing I would trust to hold long term because again, these big brands they just see a sale, they see a way to make money, and they may not have the intentions to be here long term.
Yeah, it's like experimentation and marketing and just keeping up with trends. So they probably don't have our best interests.
Yeah, but 0.08 mint price, you like that? You like they're not coming in with like a 0.5 mint price. Like some brands have before, so I like that they've kind of kept it with that cheaper mint cost that we've seen in the past from like OG projects instead of these newer brands coming in asking for 0.25, 0.5, or 1 ETH. So that just because of that price, I am interested, and if I get the slot, then I'd probably mint it, but with the intention to flip it.
You think they chose 0.08 because they're like, well, Bored Apes minted at 0.08?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They say I mean, like whoever the big people are at the table, they ask their interns, find us the most successful NFT project, and what did they do? And they come back with the list, and they probably just took that number directly from that, right? The 0.08. But
two pretty big brands though. I mean, it's nice to see. I don't care what their NFT project does. Like you said, if I get a allow list, probably mint, but probably be out in 1 to 3 days. But it's still cool to see though.
And how would you pronounce? I mean, every time I see this, I just keep pronouncing it underwear. I don't know if that's what they're meaning, but by it. But I just see underwear. I don't know what you see, but
I see underwear. I see underwear. I agree with you.
Chat. I mean, are we crazy? Do you guys, whenever you see UNDW3, do you also see underwear, or
like,
do you
what
see?
What would you say?
Because it also doesn't. I don't think it mentions. It doesn't. it doesn't mention anything else like in the description of like, oh, what this actually is. Like, yeah, the pitch says it, so I think we're not crazy. I think everyone sees this and sees underwear. So hey, maybe, hey, I mean, props to Lacoste, because you know what you need in the metaverse? You need some underwear, and no one's got the market on underwear in the metaverse, and this could be Lacoste's thing.
That's what I've been saying too with all these Bored Ape merch drops. Like I need boxer briefs. I need, maybe even a couple dongers or two, and then I need socks. Like I literally need socks. Why do I not have any ape socks? But anyways, shout out to Crocs. Crocs are coming soon. Hey, Crocs Part 2, baby. You know what happened last time. Let's go.
Any final thoughts about those two brands joining or starting to enter Web3 at all?
Nah, I hope we can make some money. That's it.
There we go. Absolutely. All right, so we've got some of the biggest news of the week. Just as Jeremy is stepping away, I'll go and start talking about it before he comes back. So we've got the first crypto bill was released today, or not today, but it was released this week, for basically introducing potential legislation on crypto assets, digital assets, NFTs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the stuff. It's they finally have a bill to talk about on Capitol Hill. So, as your resident lawyers and experts, me and Jeremy are going to dive in and tell you everything you need to know about this, right? Actually, that's Jeremy especially, so I'm going to let him. Not really. We're not experts at all, so we're all speculating.
DYOR.
Yeah, DYOR. I get all my information from basically these Twitter threads. So I haven't actually read the physical, like the actual bill itself yet, the legislation, but from the sentiment I've seen, and I don't know if you've seen differently, I've seen people be positive about it so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's overall positive. It's nothing too intrusive. Like they're not requiring us to pay even more taxes. They're not requiring us to dox ourselves necessarily, unless we're a project founder raising funds from digital assets or a stablecoin issuer, right? But just normal degens, run of the mill, like we are. I mean, there's nothing too negative about it at all.
Yeah, it basically goes through and it defines the difference in crypto between security, what's security and what's a commodity. And basically, most of our crypto is gonna be under commodities, which is that's good. I think people were worried about most of it being like hinted at or being called a security, because that enters at the whole other kind of laws and things to go through and hoops to jump through. So with them being commodities, that's good for us. And then they've also, it's putting CFTC. They're basically the watchdog over crypto, and
positive for self-custody. Like it wants to give us the right, legally to keep and control the digital assets that we own. And then as well as the other big one was, it's not really big. Hopefully this number may change in the future. But what they've done is that it provides a tax exemption of transactions of up to $200. Yeah. Which, if you think about it, most of the transactions we do with US dollar day to day, not our monthly bills, but is probably under 200. So that really opens up the door for kind of adoption in those mainstream activities.
Yeah, it definitely helps for I think using Bitcoin or Ethereum as like eventually maybe a potential legal tender, people accepting it as payment. That adding that small exemption for that amount kind of helps people, helps us get there, right? Rather than having to keep paying taxes on all these small transactions through this. So that was good to see. I'm still looking forward to seeing it broken down more and seeing what's actually going to be passed, or if it's going to be passed, because and who knows how long it's going to take, right? Like it's going to go back and forth. Things are going to get changed. Things are going to get added. Things are going to get taken away. So we'll see actually what happens. And yeah. But I'm optimistic, but I'm also not. I don't have, just like most people, I don't have the full confidence in 60-plus-year-old people on Capitol Hill to have our best interests or to actually even understand what all this is. So I'm optimistic, but also cautious.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, yeah, I'm just looking forward to breakdowns of people who are definitely smarter than me. So I'm just trying to read their thread.
Yeah, and speaking of which, you put the thread in the chat. We're not going to go through it, but the thread that you put in the chat has a really good breakdown of it goes in depth of a lot of the details of the bill. So if you want some reading material, you're bored, you want to read some more details about it, you haven't read this one yet, I definitely recommend clicking on that link and going through and reading that thread. That's definitely a good one. All right. And then, any final thoughts on the crypto bill?
No, but just not on the bill itself, but kind of our perspective on this, right? So I think it's a good way, or it's a good reminder for us that, although this kind of gets lost, like in the Twitter feed and online and whatnot, I think we still have to be aware of it. If we want to do the most, if we want to make the most out of this and like be the best trader that we can, and be the best like crypto and NFT adopter that we can be, we have to be aware of these things and somewhat participate in them, right? Whether it's passively and we're reading these things, we're voting one way or another, obviously not on Capitol Hill or anything, but I'm sure that there's going to be ways for us to sway one way or the other, and just to make sure our voice gets out there.
Yeah, and that's what Manga says as well. Like, we need more lobbying. And Kaz says, Kaz is right. This is the first draft before lobbyists. Everyone's making their changes. So what we see then is going to be different than what we see now. And this is why I was a big fan of the whole Lobby 3 with the Andrew Wang and Andrew Yang coming together for that. I was a big fan of that concept, and I'm kind of disappointed it didn't get too much traction in the community, because I think that's what we need right now. We need we need people on our side that have those connections, that can get people in those meetings and get people on the right calls. I think we need that right now. So I wonder if that's going to come back, or something else is gonna come up from this. And there's a lot of people that are going to be looking to get their hands and get their eyes on the bill and try to sway opinions one way or the other.
Yeah, for me, it's just about the main thing for me is just about taxes. Like, I would hate for us to continue to get taxed out the wazoo, right? To just be a participant in this space. Like, sure, tax me on the gains, just like I would, in stocks or any other type of earnings portfolio. But don't make it too harsh, or where I'm just drowned in taxes every single year.
Yeah, like we're more than willing to pay our fair share. Just meet us halfway a little bit. Don't make it don't give us too many hoops to jump through. Just I think we just need something transparent. That's not gonna it's not gonna require us to bend over and lube up.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so we've also got it's kind of a bearish market right now, but there are some good signs that it's good to talk about. So one thing is, this came out. It's not even really news. It's just someone was just kind of just showcasing it. Ethereum adds 500,000 new addresses per week, and if you look at the chart here, even in the bear markets and everything, right now, it's just a constant line of just new accounts, new addresses being added. 200, and that's a crazy amount, 500,000 each week. So basically every month you're looking at pretty much 2 million new wallets every week, or every month. Yeah. I think that's a great sign, and people should probably look more at this as a positive whenever things are looking so negative right now.
Yeah, and sure, it's that people creating multiple wallets whenever we need to.
Yeah,
and sure, but still, even when you water it down, it's still a lot of new addresses that are at least looking into the space and trying to be or trying to partake in it. So it's overall good news, and especially when you see the bearish time and still people are signing up at this rate. I think it's a positive light.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most interesting thing about this chart for me is it's not there's not any crazy spikes. You see the small spike in 2017, which that predates my time in crypto. I'm pretty sure predates you as well, or probably most of our viewers. But everything else, it's very steady growth. It's not this crazy spike and then it just goes sideways for a while and then it spikes again. It's just a very steady growth, and then that's something I think that's healthy and that's good to see. But it's also, I mean, it's zoomed out. It's, you know, it's, I'm sure if you zoomed in a lot more, like looked at it month by month, it would be a lot different. But again, I think it's positive. We're trying to look for positives right now in this bear market, something to get your hopes up. I think this is one good thing. You know, we're reaching that more mass adoption, and yeah, people may be taking it more seriously than they were last year or the year before. All right. Any final thoughts on this? Nope.
Nope.
All right.
But,
next thing.
Maybe Solana wallet signups. Maybe that's the opposite. Maybe it's just going down.
Oh, maybe. Well, I mean, maybe it's just staying the same because you know the market's down. You can't create a new wallet, right?
Hey, if you're a Solana fanboy, I don't mean no harm, but y'all gotta fix what you're doing over there.
Some of the, you know, we laughed at the Ape Fest memes. There's a lot of good Solana bro memes out there for them at MTNYC. Maybe we'll have to round some of those up and talk and show those on Friday, because they're pretty good. But this is something that this is over my head. I'm gonna admit that. You're the tech guy, so I want you to treat me like I am.
I mean,
treat me like I'm in junior high. I'm in high school. I have no idea what any of this means. All I know is I've heard that, you know, something about Rapston. There's a testnet. There's a merge. What's going on right now?
Yeah. So I mean, not to get too much into details, but for people who are in the Ethereum world, right, in the NFT world, you'll notice that like in your MetaMask, when you log on, like you, by default, you have test nets available at the top of your wallet. You have Ethereum mainnet, and you have like the Robson test network, Kovan, and then Rinkeby and Gorley. So these are test networks that are deployed and pretty much are in sync with the Ethereum network, except they have different like code deployed to that. So one of the major things that we have coming up for the Ethereum mainnet is that they're working on moving from proof of work as you know, mining and validation to proof of stake. And essentially what that's going to do is mainly cut down on the energy cost, you know, how much energy it takes to validate these transactions on the blockchain. And what they did today was actually successfully deploy the change, the merger from proof of work to proof of stake on the Robson test network. And here he's just showing like, hey, it went through because all the blocks are in sync. Plus we have the transactions that were, you know, like successfully migrated over, and then it just continues on as normal. There's not really going to be a major change for us, other than maybe like cost of gas in a way, but that's really affected by other like EIPs and whatnot, other standards, and in the way that we write our smart contracts. But yeah, I mean, GG's to them, to the devs, being able to do this merge on the Robson network. That's pretty good signs that we're just around the corner from them being able to do this on mainnet.
Yeah, I think everything I've heard is August is kind of like the target date for them to make this go live on the mainnet. Is that, have you heard the same as well?
Yeah, Q3, Q4. So okay. For sure by Q4, I don't I don't doubt that at all. But Q3 would be, I think, somewhat hopeful.
Yeah, that sounds, I mean, sounds great to me. We've been hearing about this for the longest time, and it's finally possibly going to be here this year, which is great. And hey, maybe it's going to help us save ETH, right? Maybe it's not priced in right now. Maybe we see a pretty spicy Q4 end of the year for ETH. Mm-hmm. Spicy either way, maybe up or down. Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, we will.
Let's see. Law Dog's got a question here.
I don't think that it necessarily disincentivizes them. If anything, it might make it a little bit more profitable, to be honest. But maybe it some of the validators, right? Those big group nodes and whatnot, group validators, maybe they have a bit more. Maybe it's more weighted to their side in a way. Just because we are moving to that proof of stake, so maybe it's harder for small validators to grow, but we'll see.
Yo, Dort, thanks for hopping in. Appreciate you for joining us today. Yo, Dort, how did you how'd you get your tickets this morning? Did you I think you had a couple wallets, right? What days did you go just for? We're curious. Yeah, just a couple. You know, this man's a whale. He's got more than one ape. Well. Hopefully we get tickets on the same days, and we'll link up with you in New York. All right, so we also have some other news. So PayPal, more news on the PayPal front. So I think it was last year that PayPal enabled you to buy crypto on PayPal, but it got like flooded to the ground because you could buy it on PayPal, but you had to keep it on PayPal. You couldn't transfer it out. You couldn't do anything with it. Like, and I think the terms of services, like the terms and conditions, basically said PayPal basically still owns this. It just shows up in your thing, right? Like they could decide to sell it on your behalf at any point. So they actually had some news this week, yesterday, that you can now transfer crypto. You can send, receive, all basically like if it was Coinbase, you can send it to and from PayPal. So you have another big player basically acting as a central exchange. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Again, we've seen like Visa and Chase and MasterCard and wait, I already said Chase. Yeah, all these big players and PayPal, eBay, like all of these just validating the use of crypto for just day-to-day goods and services. And I think this is, just something in the pipeline for them to do. I don't think that they would have made it, like in terms of product design, product management, if they were to keep it so like custodial and locked down. So this should have been a part of their roadmap, and I'm glad that they pushed it out. And yeah, I mean, happy with the timing in terms of it hasn't been too long since they've adopted these crypto or other cryptocurrencies. So for that big of a company to move this quick in a way is cool to see. So GG's PayPal.
Yeah, and we've also seen, I think there was other news today or yesterday. I'm trying to remember the names, but they were big banking names, right? And they're coming together to create a crypto exchange. I can't remember the names of them, but I should have pulled it up here. But so we're starting to see these bigger companies come in, and they're actually starting to take it seriously, right? Which is good to see. It's a good indicator for mass adoption. And Dort, I see you with that number 2 at the last spot each one. That means that tells me you're going to be at that Moonbirds event. Yep, there it is, 621. Fully intend on being at the Moonbirds. Mm-hmm. We will see you there because we're going to be there as well. We're going to see Tamale Enchilada and David Blaine. All right, I think that's pretty much it for crypto news. It's kind of, there's some days there's a lot of NFT stuff going on. This is one of the days where there was just so much crypto news going on, and we kind of had to talk about it because it does affect us to some point. But we do have there is one surprise NFT news that happened earlier today. So the Meta Heroes Pixel Vault did a surprise airdrop for if you were holding a Mint Pass. Normally they announce it ahead of time, but this one was kind of a surprise one. So they just stealth dropped the core Meta Heroes to 9. I think it's they did 12 more. To people that are eligible for it. So they use they use Chainlink VR. They use Chainlink VRF to get a random address if you're holding a Mint Pass 1, and if you won, then you get one. But I wanted to get your thoughts on these. What is your favorite core hero from these 12?
Favorite core hero from these 12? Dude, I probably have to go with the top middle. Top middle just reminds me of that Iceman from what's that cartoon movie with
the Incredibles?
Yeah, the Incredibles. Yeah. So that's what he reminds me of, and that was honestly I thought that was one of the more funnier characters growing up. So
yeah. I think I think if I had to pick, I'd probably pick this bottom left one just because it's all gold, and you can never go wrong with all gold, right? It's always going to look good. It's always going to be probably more valued higher than anything else just because it's gold.
I thought about it, but the things coming out the ears on the side was just giving me bad vibes.
Bad vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Mtoli says Mtoli picks G-Funks. Mtoli would pick G-Funks, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean Mtoli's vanilla, bro.
The one with the pipe is fire, so Manga likes G-Funks as well. Okay, I guess our chat's the G-Funk Maxis over here.
Yeah.
Do you have any Mint Pass 1 still, or have you used all yours up?
I know I've used one. I think I may still have one, and I sold like 2 or 3.
Okay. Well, maybe one day it'll pay off, and you'll get yourself a core hero airdrop if you got one. I don't have any left. I've used all mine to partake in the staking. So, yeah.
I did not stake a whole lot. I think I had, 2 meta heroes maybe, like staking, and I know it ended 2 days ago.
It did it, yeah. It ended on like Sunday, I think. So if you do have meta heroes, you go and there's you haven't removed them yet. Go to the punkscomic.com. Go to the staking website in there, and it has a function for you to claim your tokens and then unstake your meta heroes, and you can get your meta heroes back after they were locked up for the past 6 months.
Yeah,
so.
And for those of you who may not know, we're not going to discuss the Punks comic project because we'd have to talk about it for 5 years.
Yeah,
how complex that they've made it. But for those of you who weren't around, Pixel Vault released Punks comic #1, right? And it was for 0.2 Ethereum at the time. Shortly after Bored Apes, maybe 1 month or so, 2 months. Anyways, these things went unsold. Like, they did not sell out immediately. This wasn't a hype drop or anything like that. It took them weeks to sell out at 0.2 ETH. The moment that they sell out for 0.2 ETH, I think they immediately go to like 0.8. The next day they're over 1, blah blah blah. They continue to moonshot, and then the mint passes, like Tagline just talked about. These things come out, and it was a snapshot based off Comic Ones. And at the time, we had really never seen any like high cap, high cost avatar mints, because the mint passes are to create a meta hero. So then these things came out, and people were paying over 1.5 ETH per mint pass to mint 1 meta hero. And that was mind-blowing to us because, again, at the time,
it was crazy.
It was just insane. Maybe the highest mint was like a 0.3, maybe, for a PFP in that timeline.
Yeah, and we had to pay as a comic holder. You bought the mint pass for 0.08.
Yeah,
and then but then it was yours, and then the people, like you said, people were buying it on secondary for like 1.5, 2 ETH or whatever, and the peak of them was, I think, 10 ETH.
Yeah, they got to 8, 9, 10 ETH.
Yeah, that was about like the mutant release time. That's whenever they were at that 10 ETH range.
So essentially, all you had to do was mint a comic that was sitting there for weeks for 0.2 ETH, hold it for a couple months, be a part of the snapshot, pay 0.08, and then that thing again like moon rocketed to 6 to 10 ETH. Yeah, and that was a fat W. Shout out Schiller. He was always like, he was always a big supporter of Pixel Vault, huge maxi. It kind of like fell into his lap on that one. So he has a lot of meta heroes, a lot of planets, but he's always had conviction in that. So that was like a huge play for Schiller. So that's one of his best plays if you aren't familiar with his history.
Yeah. What's funny about that too is ironic, because he's an Elite ape for Pixel Vault, and he's been listing some meta heroes for sale close to the floor lately. And someone called this man out on Twitter. They took the screenshots, they had the receipts. They said, "Yo, Schiller, you're an Elite 8 ape. Why are you selling meta heroes at the floor? This is like, what are you doing? It's not a good look." This man got called out.
Yeah, he did get called out. Hearts change, people. Thoughts change, feelings change, and obviously he is still an Elite ape with his biz ape, whatnot. But maybe he's just trying to follow Beanie. Like, Beanie apparently, supposedly left Pixel Vault right months ago, and now he started the project Look Labs, and then now coincidentally Schiller selling Pixel Vault, and what is he aping into? He's aping into Look Labs. Now he's a Look Labs maxi, and if you guys didn't see the announcement yesterday, Shot to the Moon and Schiller are now featured partners with Look Labs, and they're going to be covering everything Look Labs from here on out. So I don't know, not saying it's sus, but
you're not saying stuff, but you're starting to get some tinfoil out and get ready. You're getting. I see you over there.
But hey, this man's hit it big on Bored Apes before. This man's hit it big on Pixel Vault. I haven't aped into Look Labs myself, but hey, I mean, this guy, he knows how to make some money sometimes.
Well, let's talk about the opposite of making money. And what's something you could do to an NFT to completely destroy its value?
Burn it.
You can burn it. And that leads us to our next topic. So we've got the We Are All Going to Die NFT. They've been basically the news, the headlines of the week for NFTs this week because they burned a pretty high value NFT. These
one.
They were on Twitter Spaces. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't followed this project closely at all, so please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it was a project themselves that burned it, or if it was a community member that did. But either they or someone involved with them on a Twitter Space, they bought a Mutant Ape Yacht Club for like 20 ETH, 19 ETH, or whatever, and 7 or 8 minutes later, boom, sent it to the burn address.
Yeah, I mean,
poof.
Think about it. That's not a bad marketing budget, I guess, for your project. But at the same time, it's still dumb. That's like going out and buying a nice little new car and then just wrecking it, just totally.
Yeah. I mean, it worked for marketing because everybody talked about it, right? I mean, they probably made up in secondary royalties based on the marketing than the cost of it, so it probably worked out for them. But I mean, the optics, I just never think it's a good idea. It's just people just going purely for engagement, just to burn like an asset like that, right? It's just I don't know, like what's the point? Like you could do so much better with that 20 ETH than lighting it, literally lighting it on fire.
Are you coming at that from like a biased perspective at all? Like, do you feel bad for the mutant? Is it because you own mutants, or what is your take?
No, I would feel that way about any asset that's worth above, around that price range. Like I just feel like you could do so much better with that money than just lighting it on fire. Like whether it's an ape or not, like it could have been a Azuki. I don't like Azukis, but I still would have been. I think had the same stance if it was like an Azuki or a punk or something else of that, or Cyberconks.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, for the same amount of money, instead of looking external and being focused on what other projects are doing or how you can affect them, like why not just look inwards and see, okay, like we're a project that just started. I don't know if they have a legit roadmap, but with the same money, I mean, they could hire contractors. They could make a nice new website and nice dApp. They could pay somebody to make, the 3D models of their PFPs or something like that. So I agree with you. It could have been put to like better use.
I mean, of course, there's no roadmap. This is the meta right now. You can look on their thing. It's no website, no map, only contract, free mint, CCO. Like it's the playbook for what's popular right now. There's no roadmaps. Here's CCO, free mint. Here you go, and they just collect the secondary royalties. Like that. That's what it is right now. So I mean, I fully expect in a couple weeks, a month, no one's gonna be talking about them, and they probably would have wished at that time they would have just kept that 20 ETH instead of buying it and lighting it on fire. But they also made the news of NFT Twitter yesterday because they got delisted from OpenSea, and this was after they burned it. I don't know why they got delisted, but I think they got relisted basically like within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Like they got so they're back up there. The floor price is 1.6. They got delisted yesterday, and people started fire selling these. I was looking on Gem. People were listing on X2Y2 and LooksRare for 0.8, 0.7. Like they were just trying to fire sell, get out. And then as soon as they got relisted, the price shot back up to 1.3, 1.4. So if you were paying close attention, you could have bought one of those floor ones, made a quick little 2x based off of that news. But so there's been a lot of drama, a lot of news surrounding this project this week. But again, like I said, I'm not an owner, I'm not involved in it, and I'm just kind of watching from the sideline right now.
It's interesting to see the kind of like power struggle in a way, because we flood OpenSea quite a bit, and we say somebody's going to take over, blah blah blah, this and that, but there is a huge amount of leverage from Yuga's side, and I just bring up Yuga seemingly out of nowhere, but Yuga secondary activity, like Yuga marketplace activity, takes up like 33% of all NFT volume.
Yeah.
And which is wild. You think of the thousands of projects that are out there, and then Yuga takes up a third of that. But then at the same time, you see what OpenSea does and the power that they have over projects, whether they're listed, whether they're verified, they're featured. and I don't know, it's interesting dynamics at play. But and I know this wasn't on the list to talk about, but I think Yuga could kind of use that leverage to either build their own first party marketplace to save people on those fees, right? Or look at somebody, make an agreement with the marketplace like that and say, hey, we have this much volume, you guys are collecting this much in fees, cut us some type of deal or else.
Right? Yeah, I think Yuga should do that. I feel like we do see that. I think at some point we do see some kind of marketplace that Yuga builds that we can sell and trade and buy their assets on. I think it's a matter of time. I don't know when that's gonna happen.
I mean, think of the amount of money that they would have collected over this past year, and how just a portion of that, like a small portion of that, could have been deployed to NFT NYC. And how much better it would have been.
I mean, if they would have built their own website and then take away the OpenSea fee, and now it's just their royalties, but instead of 2.5%, now it's 3%. We're still paying less out of our pockets as a seller or a buyer, but they're also getting 0.5% more on their crazy volume, and that money could, like you said, go to other things that they're building on their project, or NFT NYC, or ApeFest, or whatever it may be. Like that's definitely an option, and I don't think there would be too much pushback for something like that.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet that it's in the works. Some type of marketplace or DApp, really dope DApp for like Bored Ape owners to log in and be able to spend their ApeCoin, be able to redeem this, redeem that, trait powered stuff, discounts, events, access. Like I'm sure that's in the works for Yuga.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's move on to our last little bit, and it's going to be kind of our intro segment, and we teased it. We teased this on Monday, and we got some rules now. So we are doing a flipper. I don't even know what we're going to call it. Maybe the chat can help us think of a name to call this segment, because we're going to keep doing follow-ups about it. But we're doing a flipping challenge between Jeremy and myself, and we have each funded a wallet. This is already done now. We've each already funded a wallet with 1 ETH. We're ready to go. And so here's kind of the rules. We're going to break them down so the chat can follow along. Like I said, we'll have segments where we're going to update this in the future, and kind of, our wallet addresses will be public, so you guys are able to track it if you want to. But so here's the rules. So we each create a new account. We fund it with 1 ETH. And this begins today after stream. So as soon as we hit end broadcast, as soon as the stream goes dead today, this challenge begins, and me and Jeremy can go head to head and see who can lose 1 ETH the quickest, basically, right? Mm-hmm. That's how it's going to work out. So as soon as the stream ends, it starts, and it's going to end, and then it's going to last all the way until the end of July. So it's going to end on July 31st at 11:59 p.m. Central Time, which is the time zone that me and Jeremy are in. So it's basically going to end that Sunday night. And then we'll go over the final results on that Monday stream on August 1st. And some rules for us. We can't tweet about it or try to pump what we're buying and selling. So, I can't go buy something for, 0.02 and go tweet about it on Twitter and try to quote pump it up and then sell into that, right? Like we can't do that. That's just not. It's not. We want this to be the most kind of natural kind of flipper. Basically, if someone was brand new to NFTs, they have 1 ETH. We want to act like that's how we're approaching it, right? Someone brand new to NFTs and kind of show hey, this is it can still be done.
Are you prepared to end up with 0 ETH in this wallet?
I am 100% prepared to end up with 0 ETH. Because you and I, we talked about this. We're basically retired flippers. We don't really flip anymore. That's the old days. We did that back in 2021 summer, August, September. We've grown up since then. Those days are the past. We're rusty. I don't know if it's like a bicycle. We'll see if it's like a bicycle, if you can just hop back on. But I don't know. I'm fully prepared for this to not go as well as we think it may go.
Yeah.
All right, and then so we can't add any extra funds, or we can't transfer any other NFTs to this wallet other than the 1 ETH. The winner is determined by the ETH amount in the account by the end of the challenge. So we're not looking at portfolio value, right? So basically, by the end of it, we have to have sold all the NFTs, right? Because the whole goal is to flip. It's not, it's not the collector's challenge. It's the flipping.
Not about community.
It's not about listen. We got community for other wallets. This wallet's all about the flipping. It's all about the money. We don't care about the community.
Money.
So by the end of it, everything's got to be sold because all we're looking at is that final ETH amount. And that we're also going to allow sale listings and sale rewards. So if you list on X2Y2 or Looks Rare, you get sales there. You get those small, like, those incentives for selling on those. Those count, so we can claim those, convert that to ETH. It's not going to be high value because a lot of that comes in whenever you sell like an asset above 10 ETH. So if you sell something for like 0.2, it's you're not getting too much for it. It's probably not going to cover gas. But it's just like it again is reenacts something that it's a realistic thing that someone will have as well, and it can only be the ETH blockchain only. So we can't take that one ETH, dip into Sol. We can't go into Cardano, anything like that. It's purely on the ETH blockchain, and we can't use our other wallets as we can't be our own exit liquidity. So I can't buy an NFT for 0.1, then list it for 5 ETH and buy it on my main wallet, right? Like that goes without saying, but we can't use our other wallets to buy these NFTs. So those are kind of the rules, and I'm looking forward to it. I actually am I'm legit looking forward to it because I haven't been a flipper in a long time. I haven't had this mindset in a long time. So and I'm curious. I am curious to see. I'm just man, do I still have it? We'll see. Because back in the day, I had it, but now who knows? Maybe I lost it. We'll see.
I mean, the only thing you flipped on lately is your friendships, but we won't talk about that.
Well, let's not talk about that. Yeah, that's something else. That's a different stream.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully you guys enjoy the content that comes out from this. I mean, we'll probably be sharing a lot of it in the Discord. I'll kind of take it to Twitter. I don't know if I'll take every single transaction to Twitter. Maybe some summaries here and there. But again, I can't really promote the project at all. So I'll probably maybe just from the NFA Twitter, hey, this is what Tagline has done in the last 48 hours. This is what Jeremy has done. But it's not promotional, hey, look at this NFT I've just bought, or sniped a rare, blah blah blah. So we'll just try to keep it pretty low key while also just making some content for you guys. Feel free to follow along, but at the same time, it's not financial advice. DYOR. You'll probably lose money because we will probably lose money. Yeah,
I would recommend not to copy trade us because we are definitely rusty. So, and QDog with offers, if you mean us sending them out, yeah, that's completely a thing. We definitely can, send that ETH or turn that ETH into WETH and then send out offers because that's the same thing as you would do as a flipper. So that's definitely something we can do.
Yep. And we're just gonna have fun with this, and then again, we're gonna kind of figure out the kinks in this, and maybe open it up to a bigger group, a broader group, and then maybe we have an individual challenge, tournament type style, whatever, flipping with the boys and girls of NFA, and then even after that, maybe we could just if anybody's down to do a group challenge, group investment, team based, that'd be cool. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's actually can we put a poll up of who the chat thinks is going to win this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. Is the chat is the chat team Yo Jeremy, or are they team Taggy? I don't know. Let's see.
Who wins the Flippy McFlipper contest?
I feel pretty rusty, so I've got pretty low expectations, but I'm excited to jump in, and I can't wait to get my Franklin flips. Flip things for 0.0005, and we call that a win.
Team Harry, we're Team Harry. We're always Team Harry. Big influence. Shout out.
And just so y'all know, this is my wallet, my new wallet set up. As you can see, it's fresh. Only transaction is sent from my main wallet, 1 ETH. And it's ready to go. And I'll put, just in case anybody is trying to follow anything on the chat, that is mine. And Jeremy can put his up as well at some point. But
and also my ETH is kind of worth less than Tagline's ETH. We figured that out last night. Tagline has a somewhat advantage there.
Yeah, mine was worth $5 more, so I'm already on top. We'll see.
right, that's the address, I think. But yeah, we'll play by the rules. We're not gonna do any like shady stuff, whatnot. But you guys can follow along.
We're gonna audit. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're both competitive, so we're probably gonna be auditing each other's transactions. Like if I see if I see Jeremy buy something and have a huge like sale, I'm definitely gonna look into that because I'm gonna automatically be like, man, this guy's a capper. This man's cheating already. Let me look into the source. Let me follow the money. I would expect him to do the same with me as well.
Not to make it a long story or anything, but like that's actually one of the first ways that Tagline and I first met, is that we were involved in a project early on. And
I forgot about this. Yeah,
Tagline and Schiller wanted to call out somebody who was doing like some shady transactions, and they noticed that maybe, you know, this guy was like multi-accounting maybe, or you know, somehow scamming the system, and it ended up that person actually was. And then Tagline's the one that brought it to my attention. I was kind of the moderator in the Discord at the time. I looked at it and I was like, hey, yo, Tagline caught this guy in 4K. And yeah, that's basically how we met.
Man, I remember that was shout out Skull Kids. That was back in the Skull Kids day, and that was the whole like whenever you would enter like raffles and things for like these one-of-one artists, and and people try to game the system because you could buy it for like 0.05 and sell it for 0.2 or 0.3, right? And people were gaming it, and I caught on, and we called them, and they got banned.
It did. I gave them a ban here, laid it down on them.
Yeah.
All right, a couple other things to kind of wrap things up here.
Yep.
Hope you guys follow along in the Flipper Challenge, by the way. I think it should be a lot of fun. We'll find out. Curio Tools. Okay, two things about Curio Tools. One, today they literally announced their raise of $3.6 million. GG's to them. Applause all around for that team. They are hiring, so if you guys want to like check out their jobs and whatnot, feel free to stop by their Discord. But they had a raise of $3.6 million. Plus, they opened up their platform to the public. So you can just go to curio.tools, go to their website, get early access, you can sign up with your wallet, boom. Now you have access to their production application, their production web app. And again, Curio Tools is like an analytics-based, NFT analytics-based website. The other thing related to Curio is that they have an NFT drop coming up. And NFA, we partnered with Curio Tools, not paid at all. It's we have a pre-mint link. So now we got guaranteed 50 spots. We have 19 spots left that went unclaimed. And now we have a pre-mint link for you here. Giving away 19 spots. The raffle ends on Friday. Be sure to sign up. You got to follow our Twitter account and then join the Curio Discord so they can give you the appropriate role.
Question.
Yo.
Can I join this pre-mint list on my Flipping wallet? I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I'm not going to, but
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. But if you've already signed up in the Discord, by the way, because you had the subscriber role and you gave me your address in there, don't sign up for raffle. I have your addresses. I've already given them to them, but I'll just cross-check it anyways. So don't try to get to like you're already taken care of. This is for the 19 spots that were remaining. So don't bother signing up, but you can share it around to your friends and whatnot for free.
Yeah. Cool.
Another thing is, they actually deleted a tweet. Frontier Game made an announcement earlier that their PFP is going live on June 20th. And one of the way that you get a PFP, I just put the OpenSea link in the chat, is to have a 0 character from them. So there's 2 0 characters. These act as lifetime season passes, either one. There's one for 0.07 and there's one like 0.16 or something. The difference is just a higher tier of the season pass. They both get you like a free PFP coming up on June 20th. They did leave their tweet, not sure why, but they had that little alpha leak from themselves. But Frontier is somewhat a highly regarded project, not a ton of volume, but like hardcore fans. I do own a lot of Frontier items from the past, and I do own zeros, so just full disclosure there. Just want to give you guys a heads up because I've been waiting for this news for about 4 to 5 months, and it's finally here. So I'm kind of hyped for that. Just want to let you guys know. And then as well as the parallel pack drop on Saturday. So parallel pack drop 4 on Saturday. It's going to be 0.18 ETH per pack. and you can no longer use a credit card. For this pack drop, they announced that MoonPay was going to be accepted. They just took that away like in the last hour, so it's only going to be ETH. You need 0.18 ETH in your wallet to purchase the pack.
Perfect. Sounds great. I don't have any other news or updates or anything. Any shout outs? Is that all you have, or you got anything else to follow up with?
Let me see here. I put the pre-mint page of Lacoste, but we've already shared that. Yep. I'll go ahead and share it again, but that's one that I shared in the chat earlier. And then let's see. If you own a Moonbird, by the way, there's 100 spots for an upcoming project called Memeland. If you don't know about Memeland, even if you don't have a Moonbird, maybe it's something to look into. A lot of hype about that. I think it is a high price mint, so just be aware. And again, we're not super high on all these individual metaverses, and Memeland is, I think, going to be something like that. So, but it could be flippable because of the high interest. The Bubble World. Bubble World is one that we should probably share. I'll put it in the chat here. Be sure to sign up for that pre-mint as well. That's a public raffle. And I think that is all I have.
Perfect. That sounds good. That was always good shout outs by Yo Jeremy right at the end of the stream. That's where the actual alpha is usually, is at the very end. We just talk nonsense leading up to it and then let him kind of drop the alpha on us.
I mean, I haven't had the alpha for a lot of these free mints because I just, for me, it's kind of like playing with fire. And of course, you can make a lot of money, but there's also been a lot of L's in the space. You know, so if you well into something, the next free mint, or maybe you don't get the free mint, maybe you buy secondary 0.04, 0.06, but you bought 10 of them. I mean, that's 0.6 down the drain when maybe you made 1.2 from the last project. Take away taxes, take away the 0.6. Like, how much are you really left with?
Yeah,
I don't know. So for me, I'd rather just stick to what I know with my main wallet and not participate in a lot of degen stuff. But this flipper challenge, better be ready. I'm going full degen.
Yeah, we definitely need to channel that inner degen for the flipper challenge. So yeah, looking forward to that. Cool. Well, we'll be back here on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, our normal time. I mean, say it ain't so. We got a full week of streams planned for you guys. Finally, we're not going to rug in our viewers for once. Yeah, we'll be back here Friday. Talk about the latest news, updates, whatever else is going on in the NFT crypto world. But until then, go touch some grass like Yo German did this morning, like I did today as well. Enjoy your week, enjoy your Thursday, enjoy the rest of the day today, and yeah, be your own alpha.
Appreciate y'all again stopping by. Thank you, Hillbilly, for the sub 3 months in a row, and then as well as the gifted. Thanks for all the new follows, and we'll see you here on Friday next time. Adios.
Peace.
BYOA. See ya.